Hey everybody, it's Monica with King's Titan Homestead, and so there's just a quick vlog about what I did yesterday and what I'm doing today, to follow up. We had to take a truck into Tucson to be worked on at the mechanics. So when I took Dan back to pick up his truck, I hit a thrift store, of course, before heading out to a bee removal, and it is a trap out that I'm working on, and I just set it up, and it's not ideal. It's not my favorite. Not real happy with it, but because of where it was, it's the best I could do. And so it's one of those I'm going to have to check on frequently to make sure that the bees don't find another way out or in, both. So they were starting to use my box, and I did see a bee come out of the funnel, but it was pretty late in the day. It was already around 5:30ish, and the bees kind of were right at the end of their forage. Bees were coming back in with pollen and getting a little lost, but still finding my box. So I'm kind of happy with that. I'm just a little worried about if the queen's going to end up coming out and going into my box, or she might just come out and go somewhere else. The last trap out I did was perfect scenario. I was able to put the funnel with the entrance of my box like right here. So when the bees came back, they went right in. And when the queen came out, she went right in. There's just some places tend to be easier to do a trap out than others, and so and thus are more or less successful depending on where the location is. With that said, here's the video on the trap out. So we tried to do a force abscond and it did not work. I probed it. I cannot find where they're at, but it is a huge decorative pillar, and I have done bee removals during the construction process on these and know that they're hollow. In fact, you can tap on them and hear that they're hollow. So the bees could actually be going in there and then have a hive way up high. I mean, you just don't know where they're at, and they're fairly unreachable. And the really nice stucco work that's on here is kind of something we don't want to hurt the house. So in order to get them out, we are going to set up a trap out. Okay, it's almost 5:30 in the evening. I did see one forager come out of my trap out hole, and the bees are going into my box. So I'll have to come back and check on them to make sure this continues. Not exactly the ideal spot. Great spot for the bees. Yesterday and today, I've been working on a couple projects for restoration. Both of these pieces are in from clients, and this is a really awesome Anasazi Mogollon blending of cultures from the White Mountains region of Arizona. This is called a reserve black on white, and the way you can tell is because of the pattern. We pretty much can date these, thanks to archaeologists for doing all of the dating and documentation on the design styles and what time periods that they were made. So we pretty much can tell that this was made around AD 1100 to 1200. These pieces were not found during the excavation. This piece is from private property and is in the hands of a friend of ours who is wanting to do a museum. So, he has asked me to patch it, and it doesn't actually require much. And so I've been doing some restoration for him for probably close to 20 years maybe. And so with that said, I just kind of know his taste and what he would want patched. This next project that I'm working on is a brand new person that I'm doing. He has one piece. His grandfather or his great-grandfather found it. And it was just really horrible condition, amateur restoration. So we had to break it down. I've shown previous videos on the cleaning stages of this, and now we're starting to do the patching stages. I have left some of these openings, air spots, and just trying to do, I do with restoration, to me, less is more. I like minimal, very minimal restoration. The old style restoration is even to patch the cracks. That's just not in. I'm like, not recommended, because then that takes away a lot of the authenticness of the piece, and I just don't like it. Some restoration artists spray the entire piece when they're finished with like a matte spray. No, I don't like, oh, no, 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 no. So anyway, with that said, my next stage on this is to actually send photographs to the owner of it and ask him if he wants any more things patched before it goes on to the next process. So like I said, to me, minimal is better than nothing. So with that said, then I hit that thrift store, remember? So I found a few things. One of the cool things that I found is a restaurant napkin dispenser. $3. I grabbed it because a while back I found huge bags of napkins, restaurant napkins, those little rectangular napkins. Just bags and bags of them for really, I mean, I think I paid like $4 each for bags that weighed like 30 pounds of napkins for like $4. And I was like, I can't pass that up. You know, we do a lot of entertaining. We have a lot of classes. People need napkins. So I found this dispenser that I think is going to fit those perfectly for $3. I wasn't going to run out and buy a brand new dispenser. And, you know, things just happened to come along. So that's fabulous. I love Mexican glass. This is probably, I think, made in Mexico. Not 100% sure. There was no tags left on it or anything. But this little succulent is going to go right in here. I'm going to put a few pea gravel down in the bottom and have this succulent for on my windowsill for now. I'll probably end up using it for like sprouting plants and doing different rooting of plants and stuff like that. It'd be really cute to put like a sweet potato in it, you know, that kind of thing. Use it for that. So also I picked up Mexican nativity set. It's a pottery set. Mexican potters hand make these, hand paint these. They're just really adorable. There's some broken ones in here and stuff. Oh, the sheep are the ones that look like they've gotten the worst part of the deal. But for the most part, this is it's just a Mexican nativity set that might go on our Etsy store. Not quite sure yet. Might have to wait until the holidays to look at the ones that I already have. So hold on. Okay, those of you who have seen my kitchen before, my kitchen is all talavera. Talavera is a type of pottery made in Mexico. Tiles, plates, everything. They make everything in this style. And so this is a little trinket box, talavera trinket box, and this will probably end up going in our Etsy store. Also found this really wild piece of flagstone with a really cool painting, petroglyphs and pot painting on it by a guy named Darren Danny, who is Navajo. And thank you for signing your work. Wish he's got his address on here even. But anyway, this is gonna go in our Etsy store, and I'll probably put a little stand with it because it doesn't have any way of displaying it. So I'm gonna match it up with a stand, and this will be in our Etsy store. This is for a project, some projects that I'm working on, and that will be revealed later. And then one of the last things was just a grab bag. I love grab bags of tools. And so grab bag of tools had some really funky things in it. Not everything's shareable, but I love, you know, sockets. I don't know where our sockets go. It's like they sprout legs and they walk off or something. They just don't get put back to where they belong. And though that some of them are 6 point, I have some 12 point. Dan likes the 12 points better, but for the price I paid for it, I paid, I think $4, and so that I think one runs around $3-4. So basically, he can break them and we'll throw them away. It doesn't matter, or you can lose them and we'll, you know, whatever. It doesn't bother when you don't have as much money invested in them. With that said, they are not craftsmen. They're not even names. Here this one says China on it, Companion. This one says Power Torque. This one doesn't even have anything on it, probably made in Taiwan. Neither does this one, but there was one craftsman in it. Check out that old baby. Yeah. It looks like maybe a spark plug changer. I'm not sure. I'm not the tool person in the family, but I do know a good deal when I see it and I pick them up. So as long as you put them away, you have to go put them organized, keep organized so that you can find them when you need them. You know, I'll just have extras in a drawer, and then I'll have an organizer so that he can go to it and find it. And when he doesn't find something, then I can go, okay, let's go check our extras drawer, and because it's apparent that the other one was lost or broken or something. So those were my finds from my thrift store dealings before I went on to do the trap out. Tonight, I have to go to the trap out that I did over the last couple months that did have the queen come out, and we recently killed the queen and gave them a frame of brood because they didn't have a whole lot of young bees in the hive, in the box, the trap box. And so now we waited 4 days. I'm going to go in there tonight, knock down all the queen cells from the brood frames, and introduce a nice European queen. So Bobby will have a lovely new hive. This trap out was done at a location where the gentleman elected to keep the bees and become a beekeeper. Isn't that just awesome? Congratulations, Bobby. You're a beekeeper now. Oh, so yesterday we had to run some vehicles into the mechanics, or at least one vehicle. And so we had to drop it off. And so I was taking Dan back into town to pick up his truck. He mentioned that one of my bee water tanks has a bunch of larvae in it, and not mosquito larvae, but something else. And we had an issue with this tank before. I had like hundreds of mosquito fish in it, and then all of a sudden there was none, and we had huge water bugs. Huge. One of them was like this monster, like he was almost 3 inches, and I was told that it was probably a male water bug, but there was a bunch of other little ones too. And so when he mentioned, we cleaned it out and we killed that water bug, and a bunch of people were telling me that yes, they eat fish. So then he said that we had a bunch of larvae in it and he didn't know what they were. We decided to swing by Petco or PetSmart or whatever it was and get about 30 goldfish. On his way home, or when he went to put them in and get them acclimated, you're supposed to leave the bag in the water for like 20 minutes so that the water temperatures adjust. Before we even got home, 3 fish were dead. So he doesn't know, you know, we live about an hour out, and he doesn't know if they were running out of air or what. So he did as the best he could doing the introduction, but he kind of wanted to give them some air and stuff, so he had opened the bag and did it through a 5-minute period. When we first got the fish, the water was really, really cold, and then in the vehicle it warmed up, and the water that we put them in was really cold, so they might have got shocked too. So we're going to go check to see how many are still alive. Fingers are crossed. Oh man, I don't see any fish. And there's some of those really weird water bug thingies floating around. All kinds of things. So let's see. Oh, yeah. They kind of like, they move and then they don't move. But all of these things. Is that mosquito larva? Oh man, I'm not quite sure. Oh no, a dead bee.